Good morning, guys. It's Kevin here from Tranquility Escapes. Today we're in Plainview, Long Island. In this backyard we have a nice little quaint area with multiple pergolas and elevations. Right where Rob's standing is where we're going to be working for the next 6 to 7 days. This project is all going to be done by hand because we have no access to machines in this backyard. But as you can see, they've had this existing waterfall for the past decade or so. This thing is slanting on both sides. So what happens is every time we run this waterfall, we've been maintaining it for the last couple of years, but it is just past its life expectancy at this point. The liner's just cut really short, and because it's slanted on both sides like a frowny face, water just runs over the sides, escapes through the liner. And on these edges, the reservoir liner is cut right here. These weep pockets just weep right out of the reservoir, causing this waterfall to leak. On top of that, when doing some investigation work, finding out why this thing is settling so much, came across this. Right on top of this waterfall, we have this retaining wall right back here. As you can see, the retaining wall is actually splitting right in half down to the bottom. Since that retaining wall is failing, this whole thing is sinking and their fence is starting to actually collapse. So what we're going to be doing over the next 6 days or so is ripping out this whole thing. Because they have this amazing weeping white pine right over here, we don't want to take that out. So what we're going to be doing is shifting the waterfall to frame it out between this and this. So instead of tucking it perfectly in the corner, we're going to shift everything over a little bit, build our retaining wall 3 feet high, which is about halfway through this fence. We're going to be extending the waterfall out to 8 feet, so right around this area. Customers still want to keep the looks of the multiple cascades, so instead of using this flat boulder work that just splashes everywhere, we're going to make different elevations, pockets of waters, and make it look like something that's always been here. So I think if we can get that retaining wall completely out of here, get the new one in, and get this backfilled, and then start even building that reservoir right down there, we would be in really good shape. But unfortunately the forecast is calling for rain today and tomorrow, so that plan can completely change. You guys stay tuned. You guys are going back on the time lapse. That's our guy right there, and he just dropped off our wall block. We have 2 more super sacks of this 3/4 clean. This is what's going to be going behind the wall, and with our filter fabric right behind it, this is going to allow for some drainage behind the wall. That way we don't have a failure like we did with this past wall that we just saw. I continue hauling out this old material. Once this is completely out, we'll dig down about 1 foot to allow about 6 inches of base, and then bury a full 6-inch block underneath that soil, and then from there we'll start building up our grade to about 3 feet, which is halfway through this fence. That way it'll give us our instant elevation for our waterfall. Doing a project like this is not cheap because of the retaining wall. Doing the waterfall itself is not too bad, but when you add a retaining wall like this, especially in a very tight backyard with no machines, the cost of investment does go up, because we are spending a full day demolishing the old wall and another full day of constructing this new wall before we even get to tackle this waterfall. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning where we get this retaining wall installed, and then hopefully we get that reservoir in so we can finally start building this waterfall, because I'm super excited. This is probably one of the first times we actually get the chance to do split falls in a small waterfall setting. So we're on day 4 of this 6-day project. Remember, day 1, we were able to demo out that old retaining wall behind the waterfall. Day 2, we were able to construct our new retaining wall back there. And then day 3, we were able to get our reservoir in and then mock up some boulders for our first set of cascades. Right now we have the first set of falls into this reservoir completed. All we have to do is just level off and then finish off this little area right here. Flip the liner back over, excavate, and then start working on the rest of this waterfall. Like I said from the beginning, this is going to be an 8-foot long waterfall with multiple cascades, about 6-7 feet wide. We're going to use up this whole area, and then we're going to be going to the height of that retaining wall right there. And we're going to be using a 32-inch patio bowl, and we're going to be recessing it somewhere in this area over here. If you want to see what this waterfall looks like, come back for part 2, where we're going to complete this waterfall, show you the customer's reaction, and then show you guys, of course, the beauty shots. So come back next week to see part 2 of this completed waterfall.